Uh, Jen, a number of state legislatures are advancing legislation seen as imposing additional restrictions on transgender youth, including bills that would inhibit their ability to participate in sports and access transition-related care. One of such bill is on its way to the governor of Mississippi's desk, if not signed already. Has the president expressed any concern about these bills in the state legislatures?
I would just say that the president's view is maybe not well known, but let me restate it here. I'm not aware of discussions directly with state legislators. If he had those discussions, you would likely know, I should say. But the president believes that trans rights are human rights. And that no one should be discriminated on the basis of sex. Not only is this the law of the land, it's his own deeply held view. The anti-discrimination executive order the president signed is focused on children being able to learn without worrying about whether they will be discriminated against. And this means not being denied access to the restroom, the locker room, or school sports. And him signing an executive order sends a pretty clear message to state legislators, to lawmakers about where he stands on this issue and what his position is as president. Okay.
I mean, if you want to take
We'll do two more. It's a Friday. Okay, and then Jeremy can wrap us up. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Two questions about New York Governor Andrew Cuomo. The first is I just wanted to know if the White House had any sort of reaction to these twin reports in the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times that aides to Governor Cuomo had altered the report on nursing home deaths to hide a higher death toll.
We've certainly seen those reports. Obviously, they're troubling, and we certainly would support any outside investigation, but those wouldn't be determinations made by us.
Okay, and on the other controversy that Governor Cuomo's facing, the third accuser did a long interview on CBS News last night. I'm wondering if the vice president or the president watched it or heard about it.
I'm not aware of them watching it. They obviously both have a full schedule we keep them to. Of course, as I've noted in here before, but I welcome the opportunity to repeat.
Well, so I guess my question is, in 2017, when then Senator Kamala Harris was calling on Senator Al Franken to resign for similar issues, she tweeted, and I quote, "Sexual harassment and misconduct should not be allowed by anyone and should not occur anywhere." So, what does it say to women like Charlotte Bennett when the Vice President of the United States will comment about that, but won't say the same thing about these allegations against Governor Cuomo?
Well, I think the Vice President's view is that she believes all women should be treated with respect. Their voices should be heard. They should tell their story. There's an independent investigation that is happening now, being overseen by the New York Attorney General, and she certainly supports that. And hopefully all of the individuals who have come out should see that as her point of view, and one that I'm happy to reiterate on her behalf.
But so why won't she say that?
Again, I think I'm speaking on her behalf. This is the White House. That's the benefit of doing this briefing every day. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Thanks, Jen. Just a couple more on the COVID bill. Since the president proposed that $1.9 trillion package, the national picture has changed in a few significant ways. This jobs report today shows the economy is recovering at a faster pace than anticipated. About 16% of Americans have now received at least one dose of the vaccine, and yet the president hasn't budged off that $1.9 trillion top line. Is he reconsidering that big number in light of these recent developments?
Well, at the same time, 4 million Americans have been unemployed for more than 6 months. The rate of unemployment among African Americans is 9.9%, 8.5% among Hispanics. Without this package, 9.5 million people are out of work. At this rate, we would not hit the pre-pandemic unemployment rate for 2 years. If that's satisfying to Republicans in Congress, then certainly they can speak for themselves. But the president believes, and economists believe, and experts believe that in order to get this pandemic under control, in order to get people back to work, we need an infusion of this size package because the twin crises we're facing, that's what would meet the moment.
And in terms of bipartisanship, obviously there are a few Republican senators who are still considering how to vote on this package. Senator Lisa Murkowski, chief among them in terms of somebody who might support this bill. So how much of a priority is it for the president to try and win over at least one of these Republican senators? And how much time and energy is he planning to put into that effort?
Well, the president remains deeply engaged in getting this across the finish line. He takes nothing for granted, and I fully expect him to be on the phone through the course of the weekends with Democrats and Republicans as needed, just answering questions they have, addressing needs they have. Obviously, he had a number of people to the Oval Office just this week. So he takes...
How much of a priority is it for him to get at least one Republican senator to support this bill?
Well, I think the president's measure of success here is whether we get the package through so we can deliver relief to the American people. And we welcome the support of Republicans in the Senate. We're open to answering questions, to addressing concerns they have. But at the end of the day, our focus and the president's priority is on ensuring that almost 160 million people receive direct checks, that we are providing money to schools. By the way, polling this morning showed the majority of people supported that across the country so that they can reopen, and that we are ensuring we can get vaccines in the arms of Americans. We're still in the middle of a crisis. We're still in the middle of a war with the pandemic, and he welcomes their support, but his focus is on the American people. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Jen.
Thank you.